this is Eclectic Vicky, and I'm still on vacation, but I did some crafting. It's kind of dark in here, but I can't really do any extra lighting because if I do, it's going to be overly bright and you won't be able to see anything. These are the crafts that I've made for my grandniece. I made these for her mother and my other nieces and nephews when they were small. However, I really didn't complete the project because my purpose was to make like 18 to 21 of them and to give, maybe their parents would give them all their handmade ornaments when they left home. But I only made about 7 or 8 of them, and then, I don't know, went through a bad time and I stopped making them. But one of the nieces and nephews, the niece who is the mother of this little grandniece, she was always asking me, when are you going to make some more of those ornaments? And so when my grandniece was born, I told her, I said, I'm going to go ahead and make for her all the ornaments I never made for you. Because she really especially seemed to love them. She was really the only one that ever mentioned anything about them. All right, this first one is 2026. This is a little cup that I thrifted for 59 cents. It's vintage and it's ceramic, porcelain, or whatever. And we made this little card to go with it, all because two people fell in love. And the connection here is Germany. This cup was made in Germany. And my niece and her husband met because of their connection to Germany while being in the service. So that is the connection that ties them together, is Germany. So I thought this was really clever. It was super cheap. And I didn't really necessarily plan to make this little heart card, but I had a little trouble figuring out how to, make something that, something towards the connection. So I came up with this little card. And I didn't plan on making the card, so I wanted to kind of laminate it if possible, and I didn't bring my laminator because I didn't plan to make it. So I just used that wide clear tape and pieced it together very neatly. All right, this is a wooden heart, and you can't hardly tell it, but it's a wooden heart, and it's covered with plastic gummy bears, which have been glued on. And I'll turn it. Let me turn it real quick. I'm not turning it very well. Anyway, this is her name and the year. This is 2027's. I didn't put them all over the back because I had to write, the date and all that. These are 2 brand new cookie cutters. I've glued and fake snowed little miniature ornaments at the bottom. That's a snowman on the snowman. That is a Christmas tree on the Christmas tree one, and that is also a bluebird. I didn't really have much to use there, so Sylvia gave me a little tiny bluebird. The edges of these are washi tape, and they're been glued on to secure it. The date is down there. Anyway, I'm very excited to see her in a couple of days and to be able to give her these. Postage is horrible now. So, last year, I sent her ornament, and it was ridiculous what it cost. So, this year they're coming to here, because they're in D.C., and they're coming down here to Texas to visit, and so I'm just going to literally give her 4 years worth of ornaments. And actually, I plan from now on to do 3 or 4 years at a time, and if at all possible, and it probably will be because I'm not due for another ornament until 2030, so I should be able to just hand them to them instead of mailing them. And plus it's safer because the mail is not dependable now, and also breakage and all that good stuff. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video about my crafting experiences. Maybe if you craft, you can get a few ideas of what you can do. All of this stuff was almost all of this stuff except some of the ribbon. The cording and the ribbon was about the only thing I bought new. The rest of this stuff was thrifted. So, alright, well that's everything. Hope you enjoyed my video. Thanks for watching. I needed a filler here to talk more. And I photographed this Bluebell ice cream for my daughter, Gooey Butter Cake. Doesn't that sound decadent? But I never sent it, so that's what I'm using for filler. Besides the fact that postage is very expensive, and also I did not want to mess up and not do the project, especially since I told her I was going to do it. And the third element is that I may not live long enough to make them one year at a time. And also, making 4 at a time buys me some time. So that's why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. Now, Sylvia did the writing on the little cup ornament because she writes a lot better than me. She writes better, prettier. She's actually had calligraphy. She's taught herself calligraphy. So, or she may have even had lessons. I don't know. But she writes better than me. So she did that. I need to credit her for that. Also, I thought I'd talk a little bit more about the Germany connection. My niece and nephew-in-law, they went to the same American school in Germany because both of their parents were in the service. So that is, now they did not know each other, although they did go to the school at the same time. But they met each other in America at a different Air Force base. And she was wearing a t-shirt for that school, and he struck up a conversation with her, and the rest is history. I did not even mention the fencing ornament. It was just in a bag of stuff, and it's about 3 feet long. I just cut it so that it would be about 4 inches long, and I put the wire at the back and covered it with serious glue so they won't ever stab her if she puts her little hands on it. I had to add that extra bow because it didn't have a bow, but that was no problem. And then I did put a label on the back of it, and I don't know why when I was making the video that I didn't flip it over, but I don't guess you really need to see it. All of the names, the name and the year, I also covered it with kind of like a clear coating so they won't get dirty or yellowed as time goes on. More filler, the pies from Bluebonnet Cafe. You don't ever get to make a clip like that because you'd be driving 70, 75 miles an hour. I was leaving Austin going to Vernia. However, it was crawling. So I was able to make that. I met the Beckies in New Braunfels. Here's their pay chart. I knew it paid pretty well, but I've never recorded it. They have a cute little statue of the Bucky beavers. Beaver, not beavers. Anyway, I stopped and talked to him. He was friendly. I bet I have 6 Bucky's t-shirts. I love Bucky's, and I'd love to Christmas shop there. They have such neat stuff. So this is an uh-oh moment. GPS picked up the name of the town wrong, and I ended up in Vernia, Texas. I've never been there before. And even when I tried to put it back in, it still would just pick up Vernia. So finally I spelled it Boerne, Texas, and it finally got me on the right path. Anyway, I was kind of shook up, so I didn't take the picture, the little notepad I had on the dash off or anything. I was a little bit shook up. I just pulled over into an open lot. This is part of Vernia. This is a neat old vintage Coca-Cola sign. This is City Hall, and it kind of looks like a house. I went on down the road and got me some chicken, and then I got on the right path to Vernia. And I was only about 30 minutes later than I expected because I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was on the road at 7:38, and I had plenty of time to have this mishap. Vernia is actually bigger than I thought. Here's some more ice cream again. More filler. But Lavernia is, well, you know, I guess that's why I picked it up, because Vernia sounds like Bernie. But, of course, the law in front of it is not really, but you think it would differentiate that there's two words, but no, it didn't. These are my brother's dogs. My family doesn't like photography very much. This is Bandit on the left, and this is Pepper on the right. And I played with the dogs a lot while I was there. Yeah, Bandit's hyper. And Pepper probably, I don't think I played with her at all. This is the first year ornament, last year, 2025. This is the package that I made for her. It looks like a bed. I don't know if you can really tell, but it looks like a bed with a baby in it. And that was for her baby shower in like last July, about a year ago. Maybe it was May or June. But anyway, this is the card I made her. Spent a lot of time on it. I thought it turned out beautifully. And Caitlin does keep them. My niece, Caitlin, does keep this kind of stuff for Maeve as keepsakes. Maeve's coming into the world was pretty difficult. A lot of stress for the family and everyone. She was born early. She was tiny. She didn't thrive in the beginning. It was really scary. But she's fine now. She's still a little bit on the tiny side. She's catching up a little bit on her development, but she's not out of the range of being normal. I really wish I could show you the picture of her birthday cake. She's sitting behind it. She's got a cute little smile, sweet little Jameer smile. She looks so innocent. She's got on a big old hat, pink hat. And the cake is big. It's a very large cake. I was kind of surprised at the size of it. It's like a round cake, you know, with a top. Kind of look more like the size of what would be most wedding cakes. Anyway, it's a very good looking cake, except for it's demolished. Super cute, though. All right, well, that's everything. Hope you enjoyed this. Maybe you learned how to make a card, wrap a baby gift, or make an ornament. Thanks for watching.